Hello, reader friends. I am so excited to have you join us on our family's road trip this summer. We're starting on day 4, so here we go. We started day 4 at a dear friend of mine's house. Erin Taylor Young is an author and editor, and if you haven't read her nonfiction books about her trials and troubles with her dog, it's hilarious. You guys would love it. Erin Taylor Young and her husband Alan were gracious enough to host us, and then we hit the road and headed north. Finally, we went through Nebraska and Kansas and lots of little states through there, and finally ended up in South Dakota. We spent our first night in South Dakota in a sweet little campground. But unfortunately, a thunderstorm came along in the middle of the night, and we hit the road early, around 3:30 a.m. The good news is we saw a beautiful sunrise as we were driving. We did cover a lot of land. One of the things we saw was a monument from the Lewis and Clark expedition for Sergeant Floyd. He was the only member of the entire Corps of Discovery who died along the way. And he didn't die from attacks from the natives or anything like that. He died of appendicitis. There was a neat monument set up for him. And then finally we made it to the Badlands. Our real trip was finally beginning. Hello, reader friends. We are here in Badlands, in the Badlands National Park. This is day 6 of our vacation. Or we don't call it a vacation, we call it a road trip. Tent camping is not always a vacation. But this is absolutely beautiful. We're in South Dakota. Hopefully you guys can see all the scenery behind me. We are headed from here to, we're gonna stop at Waldrug, which is a really neat historic, started off as a drugstore, but they've expanded to a museum, all kinds of fun things. And then we're gonna head into Mount Rushmore, and we're gonna see all the presidents and Chief Crazy Horse, hopefully. And then we're gonna head to Custer I think it's a state park actually. And then we're gonna go down to Wind Cave National Park. So we have a very full day planned. The weather's chilly, which is kind of surprising for July, but we got a pretty good thunderstorm last night while we were tent camping. Anyway, having fun. We're headed to Montana soon. Yellowstone first and then Montana. All right, talk to you soon. Just a few pictures from the Badlands. These were mountain goats, really neat animals. And then the beautiful rocks with all their different colors and stripes. And the kids got to climb on the rocks. If any of you have seen other pictures or subscribed to my newsletter, you probably know that I only have 4 kids. And in some of these pictures, you'll see an extra one. We were blessed to have a friend come along with us on the journey. Then we came upon this neat little monument that showed what sod houses looked like back then. Here's a couple pictures to show you guys. And finally, we made it to Waldrug. The kids had so much fun. Seeing all the different artifacts and the Western pictures, and of course we had lunch there in their cafe. And I saw this sign that reminds me so much of my book, A Pony Express Romance. After that, we went to Custer State Park, and that was amazing. Acres and acres of wild animals, so many buffalo herds, which was wonderful to see because the buffalo had become not endangered exactly, but not very many of them. And then we went on to see Chief Crazy Horse. This is what the carving looks like in the mountain. They've been working on it for about 50 years, and eventually it will look like this. And last but not least, we finished the day at Mount Rushmore. That was just as spectacular as I remember it from the one other time I was there. And we were blessed to be there at sunset when they were doing a special lighting ceremony. But you can barely see the lights up on the mountains, but they had a special flag folding and a little ranger recording telling about Mount Rushmore. So that's our South Dakota portion of the trip. It was a whirlwind, but it was a great trip. And stay tuned for the video showing day 7 and beyond.